Welcome to my channel. In today's lesson, I'll be teaching arithmetic of finance, and the concept I will be teaching is simple interest. I'll explain the basic concept that we need to understand. So I'll be making analogy, right? I'll be making some analogies. So now, imagine you borrow from a friend. Let's say you borrow 100 naira from a friend, and the friend tells you that after 1 week you are going to return. That means you return 150 naira. You can see that. So you borrow 100 naira from a friend, and the friend tells you that after 1 week you return 150 naira. So you notice that there is an increase from 100 to 150 naira. So let's calculate the increase. So the increase equals to 150 naira minus 100 naira, and that is equals to 50 naira. So talking about simple interest or arithmetic of finance, these terms that we have here, borrow, return, and this increase, now we have terms that we can use for them, right? So the amount that you borrow is called the principal. It is called the principal. That is the amount you borrow. And this 1 week that you have here, this time frame that you have here, right? That's 1 week. We call it time. That is the time, right? This is the principal. Let me write it in red. That is the principal. And this money you return is the amount. So that is the amount you return after 1 week. Why this increase here is the interest, or we call it simple interest, right? So these are the terms that we discuss under this, talking about this concept of simple interest. So you have to know what we call the principal, time, amount, and the interest itself. So this is the analogy that with this analogy I think you should be able to understand, have an idea of what we are talking about. So our aim is to actually know the formula for calculating the simple interest. So I'm going to give us the formula that we can use to calculate simple interest, right? So the formula for calculating simple interest, that is simple interest, or let me just call it interest, is equals to principal times rate times time over 100. So this is the interest, right? Just like the 15 naira or the increase that we calculated here, right? So that is the interest. Then the principal is the amount you borrow, or the initial amount you borrow, right? Then the rate, I'm going to explain the rate maybe very soon. And then the time is just the 1 week given, right? Is the time. Most of the time in standard questions, the time is being given in most cases years or months, and it can be a combination of years and months, right? So talking about the rate now, I quickly want to explain the concept of rate. Rate is given in percentage, right? So now look at this. You can see that we have 15 naira as the interest. So when we talk about rate, rate is just it is the percentage of the principal charged. Now the principal here is 100 naira, right? So and the increase is 15 naira, which is the interest. So at what rate did this person charge the interest? So you can see that this is 15 naira and this 100 naira. So what percentage of 100 naira is 50 naira? You can see that it is 50%. So that we say that in this case now, the rate at which this the interest is being charged is 50% of the principal. So that is what the rate is all about. The rate is just the amount. It's talking about the percentage of the principal that is being charged per time, right? So in this case now, our rate is 50%, because it is half of the principal that is being charged. So, and in terms of percentage, that would be 50%. So that is what the rate is talking about. And then another thing I want us to take note is that the amount. So the amount here, sorry, yes, this interest here, you can see that our interest is equals to the return, that is the amount that you are paying back minus the principal. So that is very important for us to take note. And then so interest equals to amount minus principal, and this can also be written as or in fact, let's try to derive the formula for amount. So in this case now, you can see that amount is equals to, when we bring we add p to both sides, that means let me write I plus p equals to amount minus principal plus principal, so that this and this cancels out. So you now have that interest plus principal is equals to amount. This implies that amount equals to principal plus interest. So amount is equals to the principal plus, now interest is this, that is p r t over 100. So if you want to calculate your interest, the same thing as amount minus principal. But this formula here is actually, let me say, I'll take it as the standard one. So I'll take this one instead of this one. I'll take this one. They're still the same thing. It's just interpolation of formulas. So I'm going to take this one now. So whenever I want to calculate the amount, just add the principal to the interest. That will give you the amount. That means to give you the amount this person lending the money will collect, right? At the end of the specified time. So let's take one example and let's see how we can apply this formula in solving questions. We have an example here to practice with, and the question goes like this: 45,000 naira is invested at a simple interest rate of 4,000 per annum for 3 years, 3 months. Find one, the amount of interest earned, how much, and that's the second question, how much will be collected after the first 3 years, 3 months. So you can see that the ones that are written in red ink, these are the points that we need to look into, right? So the 45,000 naira here is the amount invested, and that will be taken as the principal, right? So going by the solution, so the principal, which is p, principal, which stands as our p, is equals to 45,000 naira, right? And the rate, that is 4%, that is rate, which is r, percentage, is equals to 4%, and time t, that is time, t, is equals to 3 years, that is 3 years, 3 months. So looking at this time given here, we have to change this to years. So this 3 months here, we have to convert it to years. Now we know that 12, there are 12 months in a year. So 3 months will be, that will just be 3 over 4. I'm sorry, 3 over 12. That equals to 1 over 4 of a year, right? So that means converting this time to years, we have time is equals to, that is 3 plus 1 over 4 that we calculated, that is 3 over 1 over 4 years, right? So this is the time here, right? So we have to calculate the amount of interest, that is the simple interest and so by formula, remember that the formula is that that is answering question 1 now. So simple interest is equals to p rt over 100. So this is the formula for the simple interest. So the interest now equals to the principal, which is 45,000, times the rate, which is 4, times the time, which is 3 over 1 over 4, then all over 100, right? So 2 zeros cancel 2 zeros here, so we have 450 here, 450, and times 4 times, now this 3 over 1 over 4, that is, you can change it to, this is a mixed number, right? You can change it to improper, back to improper fraction. So 4 times 3 is 12 plus 1, that is 13 over 4. That means we have times 13 over 4. This one is over 1 already, so you can just leave that. Then so 4 cancels 4 here, so we have 450 times 13. So when we multiply 450 times 13, so let me quickly do that here. 450 times 13. 13 can be broken down into 10 plus 3. So 450 times 10, you just need to add 1 zero to this one. Plus, now multiplying 45 by 3. So 3 times 0 is 0, and 3 times 5, that is 15. I know I'm having one left. Then 3 times 4 is 12 plus this one, that is 13. So when I add 5 to 1350, that will be 5,850 naira. So that means the interest is 5,850 naira. So that means the amount of interest that will be generated on this principal is 5,850 naira. So the second question says, how much will be collected after the first 3 years? First 3 years, 3 months. So that means, now if this is the interest, so this, how much is asking us to calculate the amount, right? And remember that right from start I gave us the formula for calculating amount. So I said that amount is equals to principal plus the interest calculated. So the amount here now will be the principal here, which is 45,000 naira. That is 45,000 naira plus the interest we just calculated, that is 5,850 naira. So amount, that is the amount at the after the first 3 years, 3 months. We now be adding this, that is 50,000. So we add this to, that is 50,850 naira. So we've answered this question, and this is how we go about it. So this is the application of what you have learned, simple interest. So these are the kind of questions you will see. Calculating the simple interest, sometimes you can be asked to calculate the amount, or the amount that will be returned, or that, depending on what the case is. In this case it is investment, so you calculate the amount the investment will be after the first 3 years, 3 months as given. So if you find this video very helpful, please follow me for more. And if you are watching me on YouTube, subscribe to my channel, like and subscribe, and also comment. If you are watching me on TikTok, please like and follow me for more. So see you guys next time. Goodbye.